Yes, welcome to Easy Gates TRB Polytechnic Easy Solutions. Probably the final video for the 2 marks. Okay, in my subjects. That's from digital. Probably an interesting problem. What's given? We have a clock frequency. F clock is mentioned. 10 megahertz. That's exciting. Sequential logic design. So it's called as a cascaded counter consisting of a mod 5, mod 8, and 2 modulus 10 counters. Okay, so let me say, so it was exciting first. Okay, so let me take this way in order. So one feeding the other is a cascade strategy. So let me take 4 cascaded counters. So a mod n counter can also be given as a divide by n counter. Okay, so it is given as a mod 5 counter. So first one is divide by 5 counter. Okay, so the output will be taken from the MSB bit for sure will be divided by 5. So LSB and the next bit I don't know. Okay, so nobody know. Okay, right? What will be the frequency? Okay, depending on the requirement we need to go for. Okay, so it has 3 bits output because mod 5 definitely should be a 3-bit counter. And this is the one first sensing the F clock. Let me take this way. So the F clock is equal to 10 megahertz. 10 megahertz. Now let me compute the rest of the counters also. So mod 8 counter, that is divided by 8. That's a full counter. So I can go for a 3-bit full counter. Okay. 3-bit full counter. Okay. So you can take this is MSB, this is LSB, so that you can read the count properly. Okay. It's MSB count and this is the LSB count. Similarly for, okay, so whenever I represent 3 bits, leftmost will be the MSB, rightmost will be the LSB. You can take that way. So it's divided by 8. Next will be 2 modulus 10 counters. So it is going to be divided by 10. It's also going to be divided by 10. Okay, that's how 4 counters are cascaded. So 10 states means it's possible only by having a 4-bit count, 4-bit state. Again, this is your MSB, this is LSB. Again, you will have this, and this. Yes. Okay, finally, the output will be, if you go for the final output, then it is going to be divided by 5, divided by 8, divided by 10, divided by 10. So at each stage, you can comfortably find the clock frequency. Okay. So what will be the clock frequency here? Divide by 5 means it's going to be 2 megahertz. And this is going to be divided by 8 means it's going to be 2 by 8 megahertz. Okay, divide by 8, 2 by 8, 1 by 4 megahertz. Okay, we can say what is 1 by 4 megahertz? 1 by 4 megahertz is nothing but 250. So 0.25 into 1250 kilohertz, I can say. Okay, so megahertz only, right? Yes, 250 kilohertz. Divide by 10 means this frequency will be equal to 25 kilohertz. Then what about this frequency means? This is 25 kilohertz means divide by 10 means it's going to be 2.5 kilohertz. Who is this 2.5 kilohertz means? That's going to be the frequency of your MSB bit. The frequency of MSB bit will be equal to in the last decade counter divided by 10 counter, that will have the lowest frequency. So what is the problem is talking about? The lowest output frequency possible means, yes, that's the lowest frequency, problem is over. Okay. And highest possible means, okay, so highest possible means F clock itself. Okay, that is available. Okay, so here itself. Okay, so any other bit also, I thought you can point any other bit. You simply said the lowest output frequency possible means this is 2.5 kilohertz. Okay, suppose if any little higher means about 2.5 watt we can take means we can think about this one. Okay, this frequency can think about, this frequency can think about, this frequency can think about, and this frequency can think about. I thought that he said problem for this LSB, so but actually he said this problem for this MSB, but that is the one going to have the lowest frequency. Problem is straightforward. I thought it is little tricky, so but it is very simple, and probably most of the students might have given the right answer for this problem as well. Okay, so nothing complex in this problem. Straight away go for divide by 5, divide by 8, divide by 10, 10. So straight away one can say the F out is equal to is 10 megahertz divided by, that is 10 into 10 power 6, that is 10 power 7 divided by 5, 8, 10, 10. We can say 5, 8 into 10, 10. That's what it means. Okay. If you go by the aptitude way, it's 10 power 7, a small verification, it's 40, and then it's going to be 4,000. Okay, so 4,000, so 10 power 7, 4,000, it will be 10 power 4, so 10 power 4 by 4, so then you can take 10 by 4, 10 by 4 and another 1,000 for the kilo, so 2.5 kilohertz is the answer. Yes, that's your answer for sure. That's a simple problem. Okay, we'll get into the next problem. Yes, this one from control system. This is also another simple problem. Okay, relatively, we've felt 1 mark problems are little, okay, so different level comparing to this kind of 2 marks problems. Okay, so still we had some good challenging problems in 2 marks in the easy paper, but some problems are very easy. Okay, not even taking the time of 1 mark problem. Okay, right? Yes. So problem is very simple. Identify your damping of the given system. Okay, so the moment a second order structure is given, you have to go by the second order formal expressions, the transfer function g of s. We should write it as K is a static sensitivity with respect to the time domain. When you talk about damping, yes, get into the time domain. So K is in frequency domain, DC gain or zero frequency gain. It's since it's a low pass system. So here let me use the same K, call same K as a static sensitivity. Okay, so K is a static sensitivity into the natural frequency square divided by a square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. That's your second order low pass function. So that's how we refer a standard second order, okay, in control systems. Okay, so it didn't say it's a control system, simply it's a system and having a second order structure having the damping. So who's a damping influencing the damping? 2 zeta omega n. That's a coefficient of S. So for every option, you should go for that. Okay. And interestingly, all are having same omega n square. Okay. So you can watch, all are having, you can see all the options, all are having same omega n square. Referring the denominator, omega n square is equal to what? 9. Then omega n is equal to what? 3. If that is the case, the 2 zeta omega n is the coefficient of S. Okay. So that is expected to have a number. 2 into omega n is what? 6. 2 into omega n, we know omega n is 3, therefore 2 into this will be 6, so it is going to become 6 zeta. Okay, right? So 6 zeta will be the coefficient of S. So I should write it as S square plus 6 zeta plus 9 will be the denominator. Okay, that's how it is, because 2 omega n is. Now what is the problem? Underdamped means zeta should be less than 1. Simple. Zeta less than 1 means 6 zeta will become less than 6. Then who is less than 6? That's your answer. Okay, who is less than 6? That's your answer. So option D. That's a straightforward way. Just know what is your standard form, then connect it. Okay, zeta must be 1 is the condition. Yes, we should know. He said underdamped means zeta less than 1. Okay, this is zeta equal to 0 system. When the S term is vanishing, it's an undamped system. Okay, so yes, we are looking for underdamped. Okay, don't misread as undamped. Okay, those who misread as undamped probably given the option B. Okay, and trapped in the no negative mark luckily. Okay, but still you lost 1 mark means it's still countable. Okay, so B is not the answer. D is the correct answer. Okay, that's a only underdamped system. So then if you want to know how about other options means, then this is exactly zeta equal to 1. So 6 zeta greater than 6 is going to be zeta greater than 1. It's over damped. So option A is critically damped. Option C is over damped. Option B is undamped. So D alone is the underdamped. So that's a very simple problem. And probably the final problem, there is only one more problem talking about the force voltage or force current analogy. So with that, we'll conclude, okay, this topics. Okay, so hope everyone enjoyed the content delivered. Thanks for watching. So you can subscribe the channel. Okay, So if you want to get in touch with the institute, you can see the course structures. Okay, so by clicking the link of online courses, and you can see the offline courses as well, the physical classroom courses, and any other samples you want to see, you can see in YouTube itself, or you can refer our coaching samples in our website. Okay, yes, you are most welcome. Any doubts, you can or suggestions, you can make it in the YouTube channel itself, okay, in the comment page. So thanks for watching. Thank you, everyone.